my career started when my father set me down. And I think then I was 17 years old. And then my father asked me what I'd done with my life that particular year. And, he spoke me, through different life lessons. But one thing he said to me was I needed to decide what I should do with my life so that, like 5 years down the line, when I meet with other people who I was of the same age, when we are talking about what are you doing right now, I should be able to have a conversation. And then my father also spoke to me about, how when you don't do things in a consistent manner, start something now and you do it in a consistent manner, later on in life, you might be one of those guys when you bump into people, you are trying to lie and being like your life is like something that is not. So basically, my journey started there. My father said to me, do something with your life. And then in my head, I wanted to be a fashion designer, I wanted to be a model, I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be a chef. But one thing that really came out very clear was I wanted to become a music producer. So I basically spoke to someone, and then he told me that for me to become a good music producer, I needed to have a good ear. And basically, to develop that ear, being a sound engineer was one of the things that would help in that. And then, basically, from that moment on, I looked at the different people that I knew, and then I remembered that my uncle used to play bass guitar for Oliver Mtukudzi, who was basically one of the top musicians from Zimbabwe. So literally, I went to see my uncle, and that was the first live show I saw, spoke to him, told him I want to do this. Right now, I'm just paraphrasing. And if you are part of my classes, I get into other details. And then from there, I spoke to him. He basically introduced me to the band, and then I started working with that band. And I asked the guy in that band who was the second engineer, I asked him, how long is it going to take me to be a live sound engineer, to be basically good at this? And this guy said to me, it can take you 1 month, it can take you 3 months, it can take you 5 years, but it all just depends how serious you are. And basically that's how that journey started. And I was very hungry, like I would basically do as much as I can, assisting the engineer number 2 and the engineer number 1. The engineer number 1 then saw that with this particular band, I would only work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He then said, I'm going to find you a company that you're going to work for between Monday and Friday, so that during the day I'm also working somewhere. And then he basically introduced me to a technical company called RAF Company Leisure Industries in Zimbabwe. This company then was the biggest technical company in the country. They were basically doing most of the biggest shows in the country. So I was really fortunate to basically start off with one of the biggest bands in the country, and then I went to work for one of the biggest technical companies in the country. And literally, just from those steps, I then continued, and then after that, I was really seeking out some of the top engineers in the country for them to be my mentors. So I think just because of that happening organically in my life, it has basically given me a good reference on professionalism, on excellency, and also on understanding what the big stages and the biggest clients require. So those really are like some of the beginning stages and some of the stages of my career. I hope that answers that particular question.